Hi there, today's Photoshop tutorial is on how to create outlines for text and objects which you can use in your graphic design, in your YouTube thumbnails, or even text for your videos. My name is Naomi with the Top Shelf VA channel, your place for creativity and inspiration for business and for life. So let's go ahead and jump into creating those outlines in Photoshop. Okay, for this tutorial on how to create an outline or multiple outlines for text, let's start with a YouTube thumbnail canvas size of 1920 by 1080 pixels. Let's add a background color. Let's choose yellow for now, since it's bright and cheerful. Now here is an important trick. We are going to set up a folder. Let's call it strokes. Then add a layer inside the folder for the text. You'll see why we do this in a little bit. Let's add the word strokes on the layer. And let's make the text black. We'll choose a thick font such as Cooper Black. I'm going to make this larger by clicking on Ctrl+T for transform. Then holding my Alt key down, drag the side out to enlarge evenly and hit enter. Whoops, I almost forgot to save this. Remember to always save your file first for the just in case factor. I'll call it text outline demonstration. Okay, now let's create those Photoshop text outlines. I'm going to show you the basics, then how you can fancy things up if you want. Now this is important. Double-click on the right side of the folder to open the Layer Style window. Do not add these effects to the text layer, only to the folder. The Photoshop layer styles will apply to whatever is in the folder. You'll see why in a minute. For the first text outline, click on the Stroke Layer effect. Set the size to 10 pixels. Make sure the position is outside. The blend mode is normal. Opacity is 100%. Fill type is color, and let's go ahead and set this as white. As you can see, a 10 pixel stroke or outline was added to the outside of the text. Now let's add a second stroke layer by clicking on the plus sign. Think of these as layers. So the layer on top is the one that is in front, and every Photoshop stroke layer effect under that is behind the one on top of it. Now for this text outline, we will make it 25 pixels because we want it to go past the 10 pixels of the white text outline that's on top. Let's change this color to a blue. Let's go ahead and add one more layer for the heck of it. All right, click on the second stroke layer plus sign to add another stroke layer. This time we'll make it a little thicker and make it 45 pixels. And let's make this a magenta. That is looking pretty neat. Let's add a bit of a drop shadow to help make it pop even more. Click on the Photoshop drop shadow layer at the bottom here. The blend mode is multiply and the color is black for now. Let's set the opacity at 60%. Keep the angle at 90 degrees, distance at 20 pixels, spread at 55 pixels, size at 60 pixels. Now, of course, you can set any of these parameters to your personal liking. Once you're done, then click OK. Here is why adding the Photoshop layer styles to the folder was important. Now, anything in the folder will have this outline. You can now change the text and not have to recreate those strokes or copy and paste the effects to another layer. You could even add an object to the folder, and that object will have the outline layer styles that were applied to the folder. Everything in the folder will have the Photoshop layer style you applied to it. So let me show you how you could fancy this up a bit if you wanted. Let's go ahead and copy this folder so I don't have to reinvent everything. I'll call it Fancy Strokes. Hide the other folder, and I'll hide my image. Let's hit Ctrl+T to transform and enlarge the text again. Okay, first I'll change the color of the text to more of a teal blue. Then double-click on the layer effects on the folder to open the layer style window again. Let's click on the first stroke layer and change the color to a darker magenta. The second layer, I'm going to change the fill type to a pattern. Click on the drop-down arrow for some patterns. I'll select this polka dot pattern here. I don't want it to be black and white, so I'm going to go up to the blend mode and select hard mix. Let me zoom in here so you can see it. Actually, I think I will change the blend mode to hard light to make the polka dots appear larger. Let's make the third Photoshop stroke layer slightly smaller and change the pixel size to 40 pixels. Now let's go up to the bevel and emboss layer to give the text a bit of thickness. The style I'll choose here will be an outer bevel. The technique is smooth. For the depth, I'm going to put it all the way up to 1000%. Size we'll put at 18 pixels. I'll soften at 8 pixels, and I'll keep the angle at 90 degrees and the altitude at 30 degrees. Now for the highlight mode and the shadow mode, instead of black and white, I want to pick up some of that magenta color. I always think it's best to pick up the actual color from an object because light, or the lack of light, simply changes the color to a lighter hue or a darker hue. I'll click on the white, use the eyedrop picker and pick the magenta. Then move this up to more of a pinkish white color. I'll also set that at 70%. I'll then click on the black, use the eyedrop picker and pick the magenta. Then move it down to more of a darker color. We'll keep the drop shadow as is for now and click on OK. Now we have a completely unique look that is fun and playful. The same deal. Any object in the folder will have the same Photoshop outline. Now here's the trick if you want to use this specialized text in your Camtasia video or whatever video editing software you use. Make sure the text is as large as possible on the 1920 by 1080 canvas. Right-click on the folder and select Quick Export as PNG. Save to a location for your video assets. And then when you load it into your Camtasia media bin or the video editor you use and bring it onto the canvas, you will be able to adjust the size for your liking with the PNG transparent background. As you can see, there are a multitude of different combinations of outlines that you could use to create very fancy and interesting text or objects for your graphic design or for even your YouTube thumbnails, or if you wanted to specialize text within your videos. So if you haven't already done it yet, let me remind you to subscribe and click that notification bell. I'll have more Photoshop tutorials coming up very shortly. Until we meet again, have a wonderful day.